Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. I am Grace. So happy you are here for our week 8 Warrior Flow. And we are on week 8. We're continuing our practice of self-love, radical self-love this week, talking to ourselves kindly, forgiving ourselves for everything, and being that first and foremost custodian for ourselves. Then our animals, and then our loved ones. But like the oxygen mask, we can't help anybody until we have truly been there for ourselves. And our niyama is tapas, which is self-discipline, effort, even some agni or heat. As we move through the niyamas. And we're focusing on, with Body Temple, is the pranamaya kosha, this energy body that consists of our chakras, our nadis, the pranavayas, the meridians, all these non-physical energy systems that exist within our bodies that sustain and vitalize and maintain the physical annamaya kosha. So week 7 is a powerful week. We might even touch a little on some sequencing through this warrior flow because we are doing a lesson this week on sequencing. So I'll address that a little as we go through the flow. And I'll invite you, we're going to be really using our breath because we're activating the pranamaya kosha. And if you'd like to use the ujjayi breath, go ahead with that all through the practice. Whatever breathing you're using, we're going to be breathing through the nose, and we're going to be breathing into this lower belly, inhaling, allowing that lower belly to expand, and exhaling, feeling that navel come in towards the spine. Deep belly breaths through the nose, and we want to keep it flowing and consistent. So I'll prompt you. So as we keep the prana flowing and consistent, this activates that pranamaya kosha. It keeps it activated and healthy. And as we move through the poses, we're going to be building the prana inside the body, building and activating and revitalizing this pranamaya kosha. So let's begin. Let's begin with at a seated position. And our mindfulness focus this week is to pause. And amazing students this spring teacher training suggested setting an alarm on the phone for every hour, and I've been doing that and pausing. Sometimes I don't pause as long as I want to, but I've been doing a little pause each hour as the alarm goes off. And we'll be putting some pauses in this practice and ending with a samadhi, which is a nice long pause for our body. I also want to touch on some of the pranavayas as we move through this beautiful flow, because the pranavayas is a powerful pranic energy system that affects our pranamaya kosha. So we might touch on that a little bit. And we got Xander in the house. Isn't that the best? Our ecstatic yoga kitty cat. John's kitty cat. Yeah, it's my inheritance from John. Oh. So finding a comfortable seat, sukhasana, maybe hero's pose, nice, comfortable, taking a moment to connect with your breath as you breathe through the nose, and nice, conscious, connected breathing into that lower belly. And scanning the body as you breathe into that lower belly, noticing first the physical body, feeling it connected to this earth plane, feel that grounding and that rooting of your being. Noticing that Annamaya Kosha 360 degrees, every arm and leg and finger and toe. And then scan your energy being. This pranamaya kosha, what we're focusing on this week, noticing the energy around and inside your body. No judgment, just simply noticing. And taking a moment to practice our japa, our in setting our intention. Thinking of something that you like to create in your life for yourself. It could be an emotional state, more peace, more happiness in your life. It could be a physical thing, like maybe you're wanting to manifest a vehicle or a relationship or a new job or a home or more abundance in some way. Um, think of something that you'd like to create, either non-physical or physical, and taking a moment to see yourself succeeding in that, put that this intention fully manifested. Feeling the emotions, just as if you have that in your life already right now. And releasing that intention with a this or better, this or better, this or better. Beautiful, and gently and kindly coming back. Let's just move into a couple stretches seated, and then we'll come up, bringing the arms up and touching, and we'll move into a little lateral, opening up the side body. And always bring your hands clasping and bring them inside out. Let's move to the other side. And breathing into that belly. As the lateral movements activate the Vijnana Vayu, this circulating energy through our bodies. We'll go one more time on either side. Moving over to the other side one last time as we think about that pranavayu Vijnana, activating this circulating energy in our body and coming up to center, releasing the hands and bringing them back down. Let's move into a gentle twist. So I'll take the right hand to the left knee, left hand's behind the left buttocks, inhaling as you lengthen the spine, and exhaling, twist. And two more breaths here. And coming back to center, we'll move to the other side. So we'll take the left hand on the right knee, bring the right hand back behind the right buttocks, inhaling, lengthening, and exhaling, twist. 2 more breaths. And releasing. Let's take a nice, gentle pause as we notice the samana vayu, the equalizing energy that is activated with twists, stimulates digestion and equalizes the energy in our body. And coming up to a standing position. I have to disturb the Xander voice. Sorry, sweetie. So coming up and just shaking the body out a little, the arms, the legs, getting into the standing position, gentle twist, activating that samana vayu again, equalizing energy, coming back to center. Beautiful. And let's tap that thymus. We haven't done that. Activating that immunity system. And we're going to move into our practice, our warrior flow. So moving into a nice wide stance. We'll set that foundation nice wide, taking that left foot 90 degrees towards the front of the mat. Back foot can be anywhere from 45 to 35 degrees, edging in. And notice with your body, the perfect place for that back foot for your body. And the hips are facing forward, but we're going to take that front knee and we're going to put it right over our ankle. We're going to bring those arms out into Virabhadrasana 2 as we turn the head to gaze out over those front fingertips. We're going to engage the bandhas and breathe in our Virabhadrasana Warrior 2. And one more breath here. On your next inhale, we're going to drop the back arm to rest on the back leg. And we're going to bring this front arm up. We're moving into a reverse warrior, opening up the heart, moving into a gentle back bend pose, which activates the prana vayu, the pran vayu. The prana vayus includes a prana vayu. So you could call it pran to distinguish between the prana vayus, which includes all 5, and the prana vayu, which is one of the 5. So the pran vayu is being activated by this back bend. And one more deep breath as we reach into the extended fingertips. And on the exhale, we're going to swoop that front arm to rest gently on the front leg. And we're going to bring the back arm up alongside the body. Feel that line of energy from the back foot alongside the body, out the extended fingertips. And breathe. Side angle. One more breath. Beautiful. We're going to straighten that leg so both legs are straight with a gentle micro bend in the knees. And we're going to move into Trikonasana. If you need to use a block, you can do that. Or you can just bring that hand right down towards the earth. We're already hinged a little forward from our side angle. We're straightening the legs, keeping that hinge, opening up the heart. And you can gaze up at those fingertips if you like. And breathe. Next inhale, reaching into the fingertips and exhaling that hand down and bringing a hand on either side of the front foot. You can take that back foot and adjust it 90 degrees and take a moment here in your pyramid. And then we move into revolved triangle, Viparita Trikonasana. Right hand is rooted into the earth, the floor, twisting away from me as you raise the left arm up. And breathe. Gauging those bandhas, keeping that breath flowing, that prana building, activating that pranamaya kosha. And we're in a twist here. And releasing that hand down on the next exhale and moving into your pyramid pose, relaxing down into this front leg and breathing. And taking a moment to notice the energies and the prana in the body. And on your next inhale, we're going to bend that front knee so it's over the front ankle and coming up into our warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Squaring those hips to the front of the mat. Knee right over the ankle or a little behind. Back thighs engaged. Heart is open. You are the warrior. Moving in divine action. One more nice deep breath. And we move into warrior three, our balancing pose. So you can just flow right into that, or you can take a step with that back foot and then hinge over into your warrior three, Virabhadrasana three. You can flex that back foot. The arms can be ahead or on the side. Find a dristi, a point you can gaze at that's not moving to help your balance. And on the next exhale, coming down. Beautiful job. And facing forward, move into our star pose. And feeling those 5 lines of energy. So everything's coming from this power center, this solar plexus area, moving down both legs. Feet are pressing into the earth, coming up to the heart, moving out the arms and fingertips. And that 5th line of energy is coming right from the center of the crown up to the sky. Engage the bandhas and breathe. A nice active pose, even though it looks like you're doing not so much. When you gauge those lines of energy, it's very active. Keeping the breath and the prana flowing, activating that pranamaya kosha. As you can see with the choreography of this warrior flow, we're moving very fluidly from one pose to the other. One more breath in star. And on your exhale, bringing the hands to the hips. We're going to adjust the foundation, bringing the heels in a little, and you'll see how star sets us right up for our goddess squat. So bending the knees, finding your squat. Maybe you're way up here. Maybe you're way down here. Maybe you want to practice a lot of tapas right now, a lot of heat, Agni. Find your squat, bringing the arms up, palms of the hands either facing out towards the world or in towards yourself. Engage your bandhas and bring in that prana. One more breath. Beautiful job. And bringing the hands back to the hips as you come up, straightening the legs. And we'll move into wide leg forward fold. So here we are all set up for the next pose. First thing we want to do is tilt that pelvis forward a little bit. Tailbone sticking out a little and then hinging down. Finding the hinge at the hips. And when you're at the edge of that hinge, allowing the spine to round, bringing the hands down to a block or the earth, and relaxing in your wide leg forward fold. So now we're in a forward fold, so we're activating Apana Vayu, which is rooted in this pelvic area, and the energy is moving down the body. On your next inhale, lifting the head first and the heart, hands on the hips and coming all the way back up. Beautiful job. And we'll move to the other side. We'll focus a little on choreography. First, we're going to set that foundation, back leg, 45 to 35 degrees, front leg pointing 90 degrees towards the front of the mat. Bringing that knee so it's right over the ankle. Hips are facing me. Arms come out. We're in Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And turning the head to gaze out over those right fingertips. Engage your bandhas and breathe in Warrior 2. Breathing through the nose, nice deep flowing breaths. On your next inhale, dropping the back arm to the back leg, reaching that front arm up with that gentle back bend. Engage the bandhas and breathe. Reverse warrior. And so Warrior 2 sets us right up to move into reverse warrior. One more breath here, reaching into the fingertips. And we're all set up in our choreography to move right into our side angle, which has us lunging forward. So we'll be prepared for our triangle. Let's bring that arm up around. Feel that line of energy. Very little weight on this hand, just resting gently on the front leg. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. And straightening that front leg. And we're already hinged forward and ready for our Trikonasana triangle. So that choreography just takes us from one pose to the other in a nice flowing manner. You can gaze up at the fingertips or keep the head in alignment with the spine. Engage your bandhas. Let's bring in that prana, bringing our focus to that energy body. that pranamaya kosha. Next inhale, reaching into those extended fingertips. And on the exhale, we're going to bring that arm down. Bringing a hand on either side of that front leg, moving and resting into your pyramid, adjusting that back foot. Maybe it's a little more 90 degrees than it was. Honoring your body. And then rooting your left hand into the floor. Feeling that nice solid grounding, twisting away from me as you raise the right arm up into revolve triangle. And breathe. One more nice deep breath. And the bottom of the exhale coming down back into your pyramid pose. Taking a couple breaths here. And on your next inhale, bringing that right knee right over the right ankle and swooping up into warrior one. You can come up to the thighs and then move up, squaring those hips. Knee right over the ankle, maybe adjusting the foundation a little bit. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. And we move into Virabhadrasana 3. You can either flow right in or take that big step forward with the back leg and then hinge over into your Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Find your drishti, engage your bandhas, and breathe. One more deep breath. And coming back down. We move into our star again. Feeling those 5 lines of energy. And the hands to the hips. Bringing those heels in, moving into your goddess. Your next inhale, straightening the legs, coming up. And we move into our wide leg forward fold, tilting that pelvis forward a little and hinging over. Having some fun here in your forward fold, maybe bending one leg and then the other. Keeping the breath flowing, the prana moving. And coming back to center. And we're going to lift the head, lift the heart, bring the hands to the hips, and come all the way up. We're going to move into one more warrior flow, and this one is going to be to breath, activating that prana, that pranamaya kosha, and building this pranic field inside our bodies, inside our beingness. As we move into these different poses, as we go into our forward folds with wide leg forward fold, activating that downward flow of energy, apana vayu, as we twist, activating the samana vayu. We're in our revolved triangle, and knowing as we move through these practices, reverse warrior, moving into a back bend, activating pran vayu, that equalizing energy. And we're not in any inversions yet to activate the upward flowing energy of Udana, but we'll do that when we get down to the floor a little bit. But our Vayana energy is that circulating energy that's activated when we move into lateral movements like our side angle. So let's flow in, let's move it through this flow to breath. So we move into our warrior two pose. Reverse warrior, inhaling into the pose. We'll take one deep breath into each pose. Moving into side angle. Triangle. And moving into your pyramid pose. And revolved triangle. Back into your pyramid. And moving into Virabhadrasana 1. Squaring those hips, facing the front end of the mat, and breathe. And flowing into warrior 3. Noticing the choreography, how one movement sets you up for the next pose. And moving into wide leg. We're moving into star. Let's see if that just hangs down, maybe better. And heels in, moving into goddess. And coming up and moving into wide leg forward fold. And as you inhale, lifting the head first and the heart, hands on the hips, and letting that head guide you up to protect the lower back. So we move to the other side, moving into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And reverse warrior. And side angle. in and moving into triangle. And exhaling that hand down and moving into your pyramid. And adjust that back foot. And moving into revolved triangle. And back into pyramid. And bringing the knee right over the ankle, that front knee moving into your warrior one. Squaring those hips. And then flowing into your warrior three. And then coming back. And we are going to move into our star for a breath. Tails in a little. Moving into a nice little goddess with a squat. Open heart. And then coming back up. And let's flow into our wide leg forward fold, tilting the pelvis forward, hinging down. And when you're at the bottom of that hinge, allowing the spine to round and bringing the hands down to the earth and breathe. And let's bring the hands forward a little bit and bring those feet so that they're hip width apart as we work this Udana Vayu with a little couple inversions here. In down dog. And coming down to the knees. Beautiful job. And we're going to come onto our backs. And we're going to do one more inversion to activate that Udana Vayu, that upward flow of energy. Remember, Apana with the forward folds is a downward flow, and the Udana is an upward flow. So coming onto our backs, let's bring those feet up, nice inversion, and flex and extend the feet. And then if half shoulder stand is in your practice, moving into a half shoulder stand. Activating that Udana. Energy flowing upwards. I can always remember Udana because it starts with a U, and the upward flowing energy also starts with a U. That helps me a little to remember all the different energetic flows of the pranavayus. Let's bring one foot down at a time. Earth. Bring them straight down to begin with. And maybe bringing them down to the side. And then hinging those legs over into plow. To protect the lower back, I like to keep the legs parallel to the earth. We're still in a little inversion here. And let's bring those knees in, curling up into a ball as we bring the hands down to the earth and allow ourselves to unwind. And let's move into a fish pose, Matsyasana. Palms of the hands down onto the earth. We're going to bring one hand at a time underneath us, snuggling those arms close to the body. Press into the elbows as we lift that upper chest and head, relaxing that head as much as possible, and then coming down. So we're resting on the top of the head. Nice back bend on the upper back. And breathe. Activating pranamaya. And then the next inhale, pressing into the elbows, lifting that chest and head, straightening out the body, and gently coming down. Releasing those hands from under the buttocks. Let's bring those knees nice and slowly and gently in towards the chest. Nice little hug. Let's bring the soles of the feet together in a supine butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana, wrapping the hands around the feet and gently pulling those feet in towards the body. Resting in that gentle edge as you feel that hip opening. And moving into baby, you keep those knees nice and wide. Soles of the feet are facing the sky. Hands are wrapped around the outer edges of the feet and gently pulling the feet down as you open those hips. Engage those bandhas and breathe. And beginning to roll around, stretching those legs and just playing in happy baby. Discovering what you'd like to do with your legs. And we move into some releases. So I'll just invite you to move into your favorite releases. Maybe you want to do a little hula, hip pointers, cat cow, single or double, knee drop. Just playing with these releases, honoring your body. So that low back is nice and released and relaxed for our samadhi practice. And finding your way, making one last movement or pose, and then finding your way into your savasana. And we'll be doing a little samadhi. So inviting extra comfort in your savasana. Maybe putting some blankets over you as you relax in relaxation pose. I'm going to sit up so I don't fall asleep. I want to be present for you. Maybe an eye pillow, some socks, whatever you need to feel nice and comfortable. And as we move through the 8 limbs, this pathway to samadhi, we bring our focus first to asana and the pranamaya kosha, the physical body, and feeling your body where it's connected to the earth, bringing your awareness to the entire back body, and acknowledging that you are supported, you are secure, you are safe. Your body is securely, safely supported by this earth, this planet. And bringing your awareness to the front of your body. Your face, your chest, the abdomen, pelvis, quadriceps, the front of the thighs, the knees, the shins, and the tops of the feet. And the right side of the body. Bringing your awareness to the left side of the body. Bringing your awareness to the upper half of your body. And the lower half of your body. And creating an invitation for all the systems of your body to relax, to release any tension, let go. The digestive system and all those digestive organs, the intestines, the organs, the spleen, the liver, so many digestive organs. Inviting all the organs to relax deeper and deeper. Relaxing the lungs and the respiratory system. The reproductive system. The heart, the veins and capillaries and arteries. Relaxing deeper and deeper. the organ of the skin, completely relaxing, 360 degrees. The entire muscular system, every muscle, releasing tension, letting go, and inviting every muscle in every finger, every toe, every muscle in your body to release, let go, and relax. Inviting the lymph system to release and relax all throughout your body. And the endocrine system, every gland, especially that pineal gland right in the center of the head. There's the pineal and the pituitary. We invite them to deeply relax. Master glands. Pituitary is a master gland that oversees all the gland activity, the entire endocrine system. And finally, the brain, the entire nervous system, inviting it to calm and relax. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly as you expand deeper within and deeper without into this pranamaya kosha, this energy sheath, this energy body. It's non-physical, vibrant, chronic field of energy that sustains the physical aspect of your being. Taking a few deep breaths into that belly through the nose, gentle engagement of the bandhas. As you consciously feed your being energy, prana, aliveness. Taking a moment to sense that great river, this nadi that moves from the tailbone all the way up along our spine, right out through the crown, the great river. This channel of energy. Bringing your awareness to the Ida nadi on the left side of your tailbone, the tip of your tailbone, and the Pingala nadi on the right side of the tip of your tailbone. And begin to see them in your mind's eyes, spiraling up the spinal column in this great river. And them touching, connecting at that second chakra, the reproductive chakra, just below the navel, and spiraling up and seeing them connect right at that solar plexus chakra, just above the navel. Our personal power, our will, yellow, and spiraling up, spinal column meeting right at the center of your chest, right behind the heart, activating each chakra as they touch, feeling the spiraling cone discs of the heart activating from the front, going out the front and the back of your body. More vibrancy. And then watch an Ida Pingala connect right at that throat chakra in your neck, activating the throat chakra, the aliveness, the life force. And seeing Ida and Pingala dance and spiral up to right center of your head, behind that third eye, between your brows, activating the pineal gland. And then dropping back to the nose. Taking a few breaths. You begin to sense this entire meridian system, this network of pranic channels, thousands throughout our entire body. As you continue to breathe into the belly, it's bringing a general awareness of all these pranavayas that are moving and flowing, equalizing and circulating, moving up, moving down throughout your body, managing your energy field with great efficiency. And sensing into this dynamic, pulsating energy field within you and around you, this pranamaya kosha. Deep belly breaths. And beginning to dive your awareness even more deeply within your being, withdrawing your attention from the entire external world the outer world, closing that down and bringing all the attention inward into the inner world within you. Noticing the pranic energy, the dynamic energy within. Hi, baby. Also, bring in some awareness to this emotional body, noticing where you're at with no judgment, simply neutral observer, witness consciousness. Notice what's arising and allowing yourself to simply feel it without defining or labeling or titling the emotions. Feel into them fully without judging them, whether they're feel good emotions or not so feel good emotions, feeling in and feeling fully. No judgment. Pratyahara. And moving now into dharana, concentration, finding an anchor for yourself, whether it's your breath, a chant, listening to the sounds, and bringing your single point of concentration and focus to this anchor. And if your mind wanders and gets distracted into thought, gently and kindly bringing it back to your concentration. All your attention focused on your anchor. Moving into dhyana as you release the single point of concentration and move into pure concentration. Move into pure present moment awareness. Resting in the Buddhi mind, the higher mind, present, conscious, aware that you're aware. Right at the doorway, at the footsteps of Samadhi and the Anandamaya kosha, and inviting that at any time. And we will continue in our Samadhi. And when you're done, simply coming back, resting as long as you need.